Government of India, Ministry for Tourism, Institute of Hotel Management, and the President of the Goa Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Mr. D'Souza is on the Board of Directors of EDC, where he was also the former task force member of the Chief Minister's Rojgar Yojana, the microfinance body of the state of Goa. Mr. D'Souza previously held the positions as the chairman of the Goa America Heart Foundation Trust, the president of Travel and Tourism Association of Goa, the chairman and patron of Goa Heritage Action Group, a trustee of the Museum of Christian Art, and was the past chairman of CII Goa Council. Mr. D'Souza belongs to the village of Asagam. He lives in Salgaon with his wife Carolina, a former secondary school teacher, and his two children, Carlos Noel and Carla Marie. I welcome our chief guest, Shri Ralph D'Souza, and I request Food Safety Officer Yogita Sirsak to kindly welcome our chief guest for today.
A guest of honor for today, Sri Mahesh Patil, has more than 25 years of corporate experience at national and international sustainability management. Rockefeller Fellow in Leadership in Environment and Development. Was member of Goa Coastal Zone Management Authority. Also, member of State Environment Impact Assessment Committee. He has received several awards at the national level. He was also part of many committees at central and state government, including Niti Aayog. He is the present chairman of Goa State Pollution Control Board. I request Food Safety Officer Zinia Rosario to kindly welcome our guest of honor, Shri Mahesh Patil. I now welcome Srimati Jyoti Sardesai, Director, Food and Drug Administration, Commissioner of Food Safety. I request Senior Food Safety Officer Priya Desai to kindly hand the fruit basket to our dignitary. I request Food Safety Officer Sunil Gorekar to kindly welcome Shri Teacher Norana, Designated Officer, Directorate of Food and Drugs Administration.
A very good morning to all the dignitaries, guests, and our staff present here today. On behalf of the Directorate of Food and Drugs Administration, I extend a very warm welcome to everyone as we celebrate World Food Safety Day. As you are aware, 7th June is celebrated as World Food Safety Day annually across the globe to highlight the importance of maintaining food standards. And on this occasion, the Food Safety and Standards Authority of India had organized a program in New Delhi. During the event, the State Food Safety Index were declared and Goa was awarded as the best performing state in the small states category for the 5th consecutive year. And in order to commemorate this event, the Directorate has organized a state-specific event today to celebrate World Food Safety Day. The sequence of events for today's program includes a session on disposal of used cooking oil for restaurants, caterers, and manufacturers, followed by a workshop on health and nutrition for the officials, and a food business operator meet for casual industries, and to wind up, a millet-based cooking contest for the general public. This day is an opportunity to strengthen the efforts to ensure that the food we eat is safe, to mainstream food safety in the public agenda, and to reduce the burden of foodborne disease globally.
year's World Food Safety Day 2023 is Food Standards Save Lives. The day was aimed at inspiring the UN member nation to prioritize food safety standards and work collaboratively to protect consumers from foodborne diseases. The significance of World Food Safety Day lies in several key aspects: public health, global cooperation, food security, consumer awareness, and sustainable development. We now move on to the traditional lighting of the lamp ceremony. Light is a symbol of truth and knowledge. It expresses brightness and expels darkness. Similarly, blessings brings in our life prosperity and happiness. To bless this day, we will request the dignitaries on the days to kindly light the lamp.
Original. Oil originally. Original oil.
I would now request Srimati Jyoti Sardesai, Director and Commissioner of Food Safety of Directorate of Food and Drugs Administration, to give the welcome address.
Our chief guest for today's function, Mr. Ralph D'Souza, President, Goa Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Our guest of honor today, Dr. Mahesh Patil, Chairman, Goa State Pollution Control Board. My colleague on the dais, Designated Officer Richard Norona, all the stakeholders, the members of our State Legislative Advisory Council, members present here, Pallavi Sargakar, she is also the chairperson of the Women's Wing of Goa Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Then from our AFSTI member, Dorothy Pereira from Taj Group of Hotels, our Restaurant and Hotel Owners Association President, Mr. Don, then Girish Desai, and all other our members of this Munzar who are our one of the associates for this celebration of this World Food Safety Day program. All the other dignitaries, invitees, my team FDA members here, the team media, and ladies and gentlemen, very good morning and a warm welcome to you all for this function to celebrate the World Food Safety Day. As already you know and said earlier, 7 June is celebrated as the World Food Safety Day. And because a function was held at the Delhi by the Food Safety and Standards Authority of India to celebrate this day and to felicitate an award ceremony for the award winners of the State Food Safety Index. And as already said, Goa has won this prestigious award of standing first in the State Food Safety Index, declared by Food Safety and Standards Authority of India for the consecutive 5th year. And I congratulate my team FDA for these consistent efforts. It's very easy to go to the first rank, but then maintain it continuously for 5 years is a really consistent efforts by team FDA, and also the strong support from all our stakeholders, all our line departments, and this is how we are able to achieve this feat which no other state has achieved so far. You will also know that this year is declared as the International Year of Millets by United Nations at the instance of Government of India. So we have celebrated this, we have been celebrating and already conducted the programs for this millets. Then our flagship program was the Millets Mela, which was inaugurated by our Honorable Health Minister, Shri Vishwajit Rani, and it was a grand success. We also had series of lectures and then cooking competition earlier. Today also, to celebrate as a part of the World Food Safety Day celebration, we are having this, as already said earlier, celebrate this International Year of Millets. We have kept a cooking competition, sweet dish competition made of millets, which will be in the second half. As said earlier, this year's the theme is food standards save lives. Food standards are very important. Food standards, one of the mandate of FSSAI is to set up the food standards. Earlier also, when in the PFA regime, there were standards for the food. So this is a continuous process of setting standards by FSSAI. Even the earlier standards, if they need any revision, then the standards are revised. So continuously this process is going on. There are scientific committees who are working on this, then there are advisory panels. Finally, it goes to the food authority, and then the standards, they go to the ministry for setting the standards. After it is approved by the ministry, then the drafts are kept open for public comments, anything, and then only the final, the draft, the notification finally is published and the standards become a law. So this setting standards is very important, and recently the standards for our basmati rice were set up by FSSAI. See, this Goa FDA is doing a very good job. That is seen from the awards that we are getting every year, and that to the first award. So my colleague Richard will show you the glimpses of what activities we are doing, because how much effort goes into that. See, when I was there at Delhi to receive this award, and then the guest of honor was the Union Minister of State for Health, Dr. Baghel. He said that these awards are not achieved by the employees who do the 10 to 5 job. He says that I am saying this from my own experience. See, from childhood, if I have to get the award, then I have to put in little extra. So only those people who put little extra, they go to receive these awards. Secondly, regarding this International Year of Millets, we will continue doing the activities. Now, one small thing I'll say is that to create awareness about this International Year of Millets and the millets, the importance of these millets in our diet. So our Prime Minister has given it the name called Sri Anna. It's also called Bharat Dhanya. So this, just to create awareness, a spot prize will be announced, and Sarita from Goa Price Monitoring Resource Unit, she will tell you what is how to get that spot prize. Secondly, as I said already, we have been conducting walkathon and this melas to create awareness about the eat right. Eating right is very important. Health is very important. You know, everyone says health is wealth. So how much health is more than a wealth that we have all realized during the COVID period. So Standards Authority of India, they have come out with the scheme of Eat Right India. So under there are different initiatives, and one of the initiatives is RUCO, that is repurpose use cooking oil. General notion is that fried food is bad. Fried food is not bad, provided the quality of the oil that you use is right and it is cooked in a safe environment and you eat it in moderate quantity. So today, to emphasize the importance of used cooking oil or how to dispose it of scientifically, we have arranged the lecture by Munzar and also from the Goa, scientists from Goa State Pollution Control Board will give the presentation and will enlighten us all on how to dispose of scientifically this used cooking oil instead of it going into the unwanted market. That is another thing. And I'm so happy today that we have as a chief guest Mr. Ralph, who himself is from the this food industry, and also as a president of Goa Chamber, we have had a lot of cooperative, collaborative approach, and then as a united in cooperation, we have done a lot for the food industry. Similarly, I am very thankful to Dr. Patil for accepting our invitation to be the guest of honor and to be present over here. Once again, I welcome you all for this function. Thank you.
Respected dignitaries on the dais, our chief guest, Sri Ralph D'Souza, guest of honor, Mr. Manish Patil, director of FDA, Jyoti ma'am, all the dignitaries in the audience, media, and my dear colleagues. In the next 10 minutes, I will be taking you through the journey of FDA and emphasizing on our success stories and to throw some light on why we have been awarded this State Food Safety Index Award and why are we winning it for the past 5 years. So I request my colleague Lenin to kindly approve the presentation. So as you are all aware, the Food Safety and Standards Authority of India is the central body which is responsible for ensuring the availability of safe and wholesome food throughout the country. FSSAI is the authority which defines the policy throughout the country and is a very dynamic organization. As I say, food safety, the standards keep on evolving every day. New products come into the market, new research is happening every day, and many new things are happening on a daily basis. And Food Safety and Standards Authority of India works in a very proactive manner. In the same way, the FSSAI also expects each and every state to work in a similar proactive fashion and to foster positive competition among states and to ensure that the states are meeting up with the benchmarks. They started with something called as the State Food Safety Index. So State Food Safety Index is basically a matrix that has been designed by FSSAI, wherein we have several parameters which are defined and a scoring system is given to each and every parameter. So we are evaluated at the end of the year on our performances in each and every parameter which I am going to discuss, and based on the outcome, the scores are given and then the standing is decided. So let us look at what are these parameters. So these are the parameters defined by FSSAI. We have human resource. So FSSAI ensures that the states are having adequate amount of human resource to carry out the food safety related work. Second is institutional data, that is the data of the amount of inspections that we do, the enforcements that we do, the surveillances that we do. So all the statutory functions that we are performing, we are evaluated on that. Third is the compliance and food testing, which will be again the amount of samples that we are drawing and what is the type of testing we are doing. So that is evaluated here. Then they take a look at the infrastructure to ensure that we are having adequate facilities to work, and more specifically in terms of the laboratory, to have the best of functions in the laboratory to ensure adequate testing. So we are evaluated on that. Then we come to training and capacity building. So this arm of FSSAI ensures that our enforcement officers are first of all trained to carry out their job, to have regular refresher trainings for our enforcement officers, and at the same time we have a program called FOSTAC, which is for the food industry, which mandates that every person we issue a license to should have at least one person who is certified under FOSTEC per 25 employees. So this is the target that we have at our hands, and we are carrying out regular FOSTEC programs. Besides FOSTEC, we are also doing a lot of other trainings for consumer organizations, for colleges, for self-help groups. So there are many things that happen throughout the year, and then these things are again evaluated by the FSSAI. And last but not the least is consumer empowerment, is how easy we make it for the consumers to reach out to us and how consumer friendly we are. So these are the matrices on which we are judged. So there are various functions that they evaluate. So just take a look at the few things. So in terms of human resource, we have a very good strength of food safety officers with us. Currently, the ratio of food safety officers to the food business operators in Goa is the highest in the entire country. So we have large number of food safety officers as compared to the food business operators in comparison to the other states. So we have adequate manpower in the FD, and this is where we get a lot of our points, where we ensure that our workforce is in place, and this is the efforts of the government to make sure that adequate manpower is available. Moving on to the next slide, this is a few glimpses of the inspections that we do. Be it as we are talking about oil today, so you can see we have something called as the oil testometer. So we take this oil testometer to the field and we ensure that the oils in the restaurants are checked. We check for something called as the total polar compound values, which is defined by the FSSAI. Similarly, our officers are moving out to carry out their surveillance drives, and on a daily basis we have two teams, one team in North Goa and one team in South Goa, which is deputed in various areas to carry out this enforcement work. Next slide, please. Here are a few of the success stories which have been captured by the media, especially the apprehension in people's mind regarding artificial ripening. So we carry out drives in a regular manner, and as and when something doubtful is found, we ensure that there is adequate action taken. And the reason we reach out in the media is to also create awareness, not only among our consumers but also among the food business operators, to make them aware that such things will attract penalty. And then in such cases, we also ensure that the court cases are filed against the violators. Next. So here are a few of the surveillance drives that we are doing in coordination with the FSSAI. So there are pan-India surveillances which the FSSAI organizes. So we have done a pan-India surveillance on oil, and on jaggery, and the outcome of these surveillances help us to carry out targeted enforcement actions. You also get to see a glimpses of our laboratory, and it is immense pleasure for us to announce that our laboratory is an NABL accredited laboratory, which is a very prestigious accreditation, and we are having one of the best facilities in place. High-end instruments are there in place. This has happened in the last 5 to 6 years in collaboration with the FSSAI. We are able to upgrade our laboratories, and we are having the best of equipments, and this also enhances our testing capacity, wherein we are able to detect at a more micro level. So even if there is a very low degree of some contamination, that can be caught with our instruments now. So this also helps us to be more efficient in the field. We also have our mobile food testing vans. Now we have 2 of them, one which was recently launched during the Millets Mela. So through these vans, we ensure that we reach out to the local remote pockets, and these vans are used for, again, training, awareness, and also some basic surveillance testings are done through the van. Training and capacity building has always been the strong point of FDA Goa, and when at the national level also, we have been given a special highlight as far as the training and capacity building efforts of FDA Goa, because we have been doing really well in terms of the entire country as far as the training programs are concerned. We have our entire food safety officers. They are not only engaged in carrying out inspections and samplings, but they are also engaged in reaching out to the consumers, and we are doing daily training programs for the self-help groups, for the consumers, for our food business operators. So we try and touch upon each and every area whichever is available. Recently, we've also tried to reach out to colleges and schools with our message of Eat Right. So these are a few more glimpses of the trainings that are held at various places. The photos on the left side top are in the South Goa district. So since we have opened the South Goa office, we have now started a lot of programs in the South Goa Collectorate in association with the Collector's office. So it is also easy now for our South Goa food business operators. They don't have to come all the way to Panjim. They get their training needs satisfied in Margao itself. These are again a few more glimpses. We also participate in exhibitions that are organized by the state and even by private entities, wherein our stalls are available, and through these stalls we are reaching out to people, creating awareness on eating right, on millets, and also reaching out to budding entrepreneurs on how to basically get their licensing. All these needs are addressed during these exhibitions. We have in fact started a very robust campaign on newspaper, on radio, on billboards. So if you are a daily newspaper reader, and if you've watched the billboards on the roads, you may have come across these artworks wherein we have emphasized on the importance of millets. We have emphasized on the importance of reading labels. Also, we have emphasized on eating right. So we have done a campaign on newspaper. Every week we used to ensure that there is one artwork of FSSAI that features, which is giving out information to the people. Similarly, our radio campaigns have been very robust, and we've also hired billboards in prominent areas which were used to create awareness. So as far as creating the awareness is concerned, we have been doing really well, and this is the area where we have got our highest points, and FSSAI has appreciated this part of FDA Goa. As I've told you that we have these initiatives called FOSTAC, which is again for the food business operators. Similarly, we have other initiatives like clean street food hubs, eat right schools, which we work closely with schools for certification of schools in coordination with the Directorate of Education. We have hygiene rating. So this is one more scheme wherein we have got a good considered amount of success, where close to almost 500 to 600 hotels or restaurants in Goa have obtained this hygiene rating, wherein consumers can, when they visit these hotels, these ratings are displayed in the hotel premises and are also available on our web portal. So this rating is basically an indicator of what is the hygiene level that is being followed by the restaurant. So we have done quite well in this area too. Similarly, the other initiatives as far be Clean Street Food Hub. Recently, the central government has launched a program wherein 100 clean street food hubs would be done throughout the country under the NHM, and Goa has been fortunate to get 2 from these 100, which is entirely funded by the central government, one in North Goa, one in South Goa. So very soon we will have a state-of-art street food zone to be seen in Goa. Our other projects are also with CCP in the Panjim jurisdiction, and in MAPSA we have been working closely with the local bodies. So these, in a nutshell, are the efforts that the FDA is taking forward, and I think the award that we have been winning for the past 5 years. In the first year when we won the award, there was no small state category. It was just one category, and even in that scenario, we were the first state to perform, and we were performing with all the states. Then later on, the FSSAI came out with a small state and a larger state category. But we've been doing consistently well, and now every year we have to basically compete with ourselves to win this award. And besides my colleagues, all of us who are present here are also our very important stakeholders, and without your valued contribution and support, it is not possible for us to win this award. So we always look upon to you all to support us, and we are very happy that you are here with us today, and will continue to be with us in this journey and make sure that we win the award the 6th time. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I now invite our guest of honor, Shri Mahesh Patil, Chairman of Goa State Pollution Control Board, to kindly say a few words.
Good morning, chief guests for today's function of commemorating World Food Safety Day, Mr. Ralph D'Souza, Director of FDA, Ms. Jyoti Sardesai, Mr. Richard Noronha, Designated Officer for FDA Goa, eminent citizens, hoteliers, friends, and press. At the outset, I would first congratulate the FDA Director and her team. It's a proud moment for all of us because they have got award not only for the first time but continues for 5 years and really deserves a round of applause. Because it's not only one department but it's for the state. And as she said, and Mr. Narona rightly presented how they have achieved. It's a consistent effort by all of them. And I think the hotel industry who are here, they are also equally supporting them. And that way, we are able to achieve something good. And not only good, we are able to demonstrate the country. As we know, we all in Goa are always number one in many of the things. The tourism, nature beauty, many other things, per capita income, education. But however, also there are flip side. And since I represent a statutory body called Pollution Control Board, we are also number one in per capita consumption of plastic. It's not a good thing, it's a plastic. So what we need to do is, we need to look at the flip side also. It's a plastic, which is a major issue. But what we could do, I think the collaborative efforts are required. Of course, the plastic is not because we consume, 4 times of our population we get a guest. The tourists which get the plastic here. Also, if it's a carbon footprint, they are also per capita highest in diesel and petrol consumption, which eventually convert into a global warming or a global warming gases. It happens because we got so many people coming in and they buy the petrol or they get the plastic, but the per capita. Of course, some of the statistics is decisive, but we need to analyze how and where it's happening and what the control measures are taken place. I personally feel this whole issue, like 5th June was a World Environment Day, which we celebrated all of us, and we being one of the major part of the environmental management or environmental improvement authority. And 7th June, as man said, is a Food Health Day. So environment health has to go together, and health would be a specific where they do, but environment a larger issue. Pollution also comes in, pesticides, how you produce, what you produce as a part of it. I wouldn't go more in detail, but what I want to have it here is this effort. I must compliment Director FDA for getting us involved here, and let's take that is forward. In the process, like I was also talking with Mr. Ronald Martin, who has been a very, very citizen concerned person, driving safety and consumer activism for long. I know him for the last 15-20 years. And just for a 2 minutes discussion we had, why don't you do this? I think this suggestion are very, very important. He asked me whether we have produced citizen charter. I said proudly yes. But the second question, is it available in Konkani? I had to put my phone. I said no. But we'll ensure you, sir, that within 1 month we'll publish in Konkani and it will be available to everybody. Secondly, also he said whether you do all this program in the school. I'm happy that there are a lot of training programs you do. We are possibly restricted to ourselves and the industry. Probably we have to widen our horizon. So jointly we can do it. And that's a program will come to you, maybe FDA. And in some of the program we can jointly do. I was just, today's theme precisely on uses of cooking oil or waste oil. But when I look at the Pollution Control Board, we have 3-4 categories. We have waste oil, we have got used oil, and this is cooking oil. So when we give authorization, we give different parts of oil, but this is very, very important. And in fact, I was not much aware of how intricately it has been designed. Then I realized this waste oil, if not like used oil, not disposed to a right authority, right place, it can cause a havoc. Because many of the scrupulous, I wouldn't name, but then the in between traders or collectors, so-called collectors, non-authorized, they collect and recycle food chain, and though they are carcinogenic. And here, also I'm happy that Munzir Bharat is, I think, is an authorized agency which we have authorized Pollution Control Board. They are part also of this team who are coming together. So this is what we say is a collaborative effect, collaborative effort. Alone you can't do anything. Mr. Ralph D'Souza representing a most prominent, apex and oldest Industry Association, Goa Chamber of Commerce, FDA who is present the food, and we are here. So together we can make more progress. Also morning when Mr. Ronald was talking with me of plastic and bottles. In fact, I'll be happy to share with you, probably you have read on the newspaper, on 5th June, we announced that the good old system, what many of our senior people sitting here, like even Mr. Dhawal and others would know, that we used to buy a beer bottle and give a deposit scheme. It's called Deposit Refund Scheme, DRS. Goa government is very, very keen. We are superintending this. Ministers and government is totally supporting us, and we are launching it. In principle, we have done everything. So for which we'll have a DRS system in which all bottles, plastic, liquor, beer, we want to collect in a very systematic manner. Probably most of you think that plastic is a problem. No, plastic goes back, but this glass bottle is a big problem. It doesn't disintegrate, and it has a lot of other issues. So with all of your support together, we will be able to take this forward. I also appeal FDA, saying your staff goes for inspection. I have also inspector going to inspection. When you go inspect, probably you look at FDA point of view. But however, if you observe, and let me tell you, because we have an industry chief, Mr. Ralph and others, not to punish, but observe. Tell them here the plastic has been not properly segregated. Waste is not being properly segregated. You can tell us, we can take action. Our data, whenever we go inspection, we share with you. So it's a duplication effort is avoided. At the same time, the intent to improve, we can take it forward. Without much ado, once again, I thank you, ma'am, for inviting me here. And I look forward for more collaboration. At the same time, support from all of the industries, especially the restaurant, to take this waste management and this refund system more robust and very practical, so that we implement it very smoothly. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I will now request our chief guest, Shri Ralph D'Souza, President, Goa Chamber of Commerce and Industry, to kindly say a few words.
Good morning. Madam Jyoti Sardesai, Director, FDA, Goa, and Commissioner Food Safety. My friend Mr. Mahesh Patel, Chairman of Goa State Pollution Control Board. Mr. Richard Naranya, the Designate Officer, FDA. Thank you so much for making the Goa Chamber of Commerce and Industry a part of the celebration. We are indeed very proud to work along with FDA as well as to join you all in your celebrations. Today, I'm going to depart from the normal briefs, the talking points. We've heard a lot of FDA's performances and standards and rules and regulations, a lot of technicalities. But let me talk from a layman's point of view to thank all of you all to keep us going, healthy, safe, and in a good frame of mind. FDA has a huge role to play. They have to look after the health as far as the medications, medicines, pharmaceutical sector is concerned. They have to look after your well-being. Health, again, as far as food is concerned. They have to go down to schools because we have started a system of midday meals to ensure that there are some safe meals for our students. Then, what is most important today is peace of mind and happiness index. And if you have good health, if you have nutritious food, these are the foundations for what everybody is looking at, the happiness index. The pharma sector is so huge that more than 12% of total India's production comes from Goa. And that's big considering India is one of the biggest pharma giants of the world today. The FDA has a role, and it plays its role to weed out any harmful drugs, something that has harmful by side effects, or those which are outdated or maybe even expired drugs. And this quality control ensures our safety as far as our health is concerned. We have a huge presence of hospitality industry in Goa. It's one of the biggest in India in terms of rooms and in terms of footfalls. We have the international as well as the domestic market flocking into Goa. Bit slow on the international because of various factors, but I'm told that next year we'll see a much better trend and a larger number of footfalls coming into Goa. This FDA's role is crucial in this hospitality sector to ensure that there is safe food, to ensure that there are certain regulations, certain laws that are implemented in order to avoid any undesired effects, like what happens when you consume bad food or stale food. There have been destinations in the world that have been closed because of this food poisoning epidemic. It happened in one country in Caribbean. The whole destination collapsed. I remember the tour operator went bankrupt paying the compensations. It so happened that it was a huge hotel. There's charter hotels have about 2,000-3,000 rooms. And they are all inclusive, where people come and live in the hotel. They have their breakfast, lunch, tea, dinner, everything in the hotel. It's like a little Disneyland that you live in. And something went bad. Something happened that shouldn't have happened. It was terrible. The food poisoning was so bad. The compensation was so happy that the entire resort, the company, as well as the airline and the tour operator collapsed. That's how serious it is. And how do you ensure this thing doesn't happen? You ensure this when you have people like FDA trying and helping us. They are not here to pull us up or to make things difficult, but to avoid such tragedies. And if we take FDA in this spirit, we'll make our life easier and we'll make our companies prosperous. The third and important thing that I would like to talk very briefly is the importance of food safety today. See, if you see Goa, our population is increasing. Today's touch crossed 1.5 million. We have the tourist footfalls and we have the floating population that come during the fair season to make a living. And these double our population. And then what happens? People need to eat. And very often, not all can afford to go to swanky restaurants and spend a lot of money. So you mostly go on the streets. We see on the road widening all over the number of eateries that have come, the number of gardas that has come. Well, I'm not against them, but if something goes wrong, it's the people who are going to suffer. There have been some instances, and we cannot expect FDA to go to every of this palm omelette fellow or shawarma chap and check what is he doing. That's impossible. That's absolutely impossible. And I'm amazed how FDA is still doing micromanaging when it should do macromanaging. They have the time and the energy and the effort to do that to a great extent. But this is taking it a bit too far. The authorities should step in and see how well this can be controlled, how well this can be addressed. Another aspect in Goa that has happened is because Goa is in fashion today, all the swanky restaurants have come in. Every chain has come in as far as the hotels are concerned, and every one notch below the Michelin chef restaurants are in Goa, and they're increasing in numbers and in huge numbers. To keep them under your fold and under rules and regulation is not that very easy for one department. We all have to cooperate, and together we can make a difference in the sense that a good healthy living can come out of good healthy consumption of food, and we can ensure this. It might not be something that is world's best or something that is top standard. I beat you, you beat me, nothing of that sort. It's just that people are happy and they've enjoyed a meal. That's what our spirit should be. And with such a huge sector, we have to be a part of the solution and work with the FDA. Another role that FDA plays is by ensuring safe medicines and safe food. It prevents sicknesses, illnesses, epidemics. If these are avoided, you see the quality of life, how it improves, how it gives us peace of mind. We always take health for granted. In fact, we forget that there's a creator. We forget God. But when somebody is ill, we are on our knees. It is Corona that has taught us how important health is. What a panic. How many near and dear ones we lost. Today, things have changed. Pandemic, this is one off. But if you see the hospitals, they are full of lifestyle diseases. Lifestyle diseases are dangerous. Our lifestyle has changed. We don't have enough exercise. And then our eating habits have changed. Nobody has patience. Fast food, the kids today, they want to just go somewhere, munch something, and you call it on the go. Here, what is of importance in these places is what we were talking just now, recycled oil and things that can be a game changer in the negative side. So all these changes are really a challenge, and at the end of the day we have FDA only to be our saviors. Today we look, as I said, at happiness index, and happiness index comes with good health and peace of mind. Many countries today, New Zealand is one, Finland is one, that and some of these principalities like Monaco, Liechtenstein and all, they are really on the top of the line, and we definitely can be one. We can be a happy state. Goa is not very big, it's small. Instead of being another Singapore, a duplicate Singapore which many of us want it to be, we can just be a happy Goa, and believe me, that will make a lot of difference to us and our families. My congratulations go to the ever smiling and dynamic director, Ms. Jyoti Sardesai, who is always on the move. God alone knows from where she gets the energy. Probably she follows the rules of FDA and consumes good food accordingly. Because she's always on the move, and so many events you all have, the whole team. My congratulations to you all. 5 years in a row, this is not a flash in the pan. This is something that spells out consistency, something that spells out dedication, and finally what you get is reward for your commitment. It's 5 years in a row, and believe me, we are counting. I'm a citizen of Goa, born and brought up here, and probably I'll pop off in Goa as well, no better place to go. I have to thank the FDA for keeping us healthy, for keeping us in healthy both as far as our health, as far as food and intake is concerned, and as far as our medicines and medication is also concerned. Don't think that this is ever an unthankful job that you all are doing. People might not say it, people might not know the role, but those who know your role know that you all have a very, very friendly hand to play to keep us all healthy and ticking. I thank you all for giving me this opportunity to be with you all today, for working with the chamber. We have done events together, and Ms. Jyoti herself has been part of the chamber's women's wing, helping us in many of our events, and my chairman is here, Ms. Pallavi Salgaonkar. FDA has made Goa Chamber an inclusion, and we consider it an inclusion, and we never consider you all as an intrusion. Whatever actions you all take is what we must take and what you should take. And we have also noticed that you all are more concerned about solving the problem and coming with a solution than dishing out punitive measures. The collective effort that you all have made today, we are celebrating for the 5th time, and my congratulations to you all 5 times over. Once again, thank you all so much for all that you all are doing for Goa and Goans, and may your flag go flying higher and receive many more accolades that you all well deserve. Thank you, and a big God bless to all of you.
Thank you so much, sir. We now move on to the launch and distribution of Ruko stickers and books on millet-based recipes. Now, before we move on to the last segment of today's inaugural session, like Madam said, we have a spot prize for today's audience present here today. So I request Sarita Bhosle to take over for this segment.
Good morning, everyone. As mentioned by Madam Jyoti Sardesai, Director DMTA, we have a surprise spot prize for the audience. On behalf of Goa PMRU, we have distributed leaflets raising the awareness about Goa state price monitoring and resource use. The primary objectives are affordability, availability and accessibility of medicines through Pradhan Mantri Bharatiya Jan Aushadhi Pariyojana. Okay, so I request the Chief Guest, sir. So we have distributed total 55 leaflets today. So I would like you to take one number from 0 to 5, sir. Any number from 0 to 5.
03.
And I request our guest of honor to take any number from 1 to 9. So we have the lucky winner, number 39 on your leaflet. Please check your leaflet. At the end there is a number. Thank you so for doing that. 39. Please come forward. So we have a lucky winner for today. Can we have your name, sir?
My name is Rajesh Sadhawar. I own a hotel in Miramar Hotel, Gopika International, and I'm part of PTAG as well as Goa Restaurant Hotel Association.
Congratulations and thank you so much. I request the Chief Guest to please give away the prize. This is a hamper of the millets. So based on the theme of today's event for this awareness of the millets, so this is a gift hamper regarding the same. Thank you so much, sir.
I now request our Director of Food and Drugs Administration to present our Chief Guest and Guest of Honor with mementos. Thank you, Madam. We now come to the final part of the inaugural session. I request Shri Richard Narona, Designated Officer, Directorate of Food and Drugs Administration, to kindly propose the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Kay. I think before I propose the vote of thanks, I would just like to tell you what these things are that we just released. Okay, so we have here, this is a booklet. So this is a wonderful compilation by the FSSAI, and this is a book on the recipes on millets. So we have been hearing a lot about millets and we don't know what exactly to do. So here we have close to 200 pages which are full of recipes. So thank you so much. We thought of bringing this book to you, although it's a national level book. So we have printed a few copies here, and we are also, there's an e-copy also available. So this will be very useful and very handy. And the best part is, it is reviving our traditions basically. So all these recipes here are our traditional recipes which have been forgotten, and they have been revived again. And also some redeveloped recipes through some good chefs. So I would like you all to have a copy of this, and all of you all can be chefs now with this book. And the second thing here that we've released today is a sticker basically. So it's just a magnified form of a sticker. So this is nothing but a RUCO sticker. So RUCO is an initiative of the FSSAI, which is the repurposed used cooking oil. So we have restaurants which consume oil, and at the end of their process, what do we do with the oil? So in a very methodical way to dispose oil, we have our aggregators who collect this oil, and this oil is converted into biodiesel. So this process is already happening in Goa, and we've been doing it at a level, but we need to enhance. So the ones who are already engaged with the RUCO agencies and with the Goa Pollution Control Board, they would be getting this sticker, and they would be able to display this sticker in their premises, so that we know once we go to a premises which is a compliant premises, which is a premises which is not only giving you safe food but also giving you a sustainable option of food, wherein they are taking good care of their waste. And in today's program also we are emphasizing on the sustainable part. That is, we are also in the next session we will talk about methodical disposal of waste and oil, so which is also very important and which is necessary for food safety. So now coming to the vote of thanks, I would like to begin with our chief guest, Sir Ralph D'Souza. We thank you for accepting our invite, for coming here today, and for sharing your wonderful thoughts, which were really inspiring to all of us. Thank you, sir, for joining us today. We have with us our guest of honor, Mr. Mahesh Patil, Chairman of Goa Pollution Control Board. We are thankful to sir to be here as part of our inaugural function, and for also collaborating with us to have a session which will follow after this program for all of us and the ones engaged in the restaurants. So we thank you, sir, for joining with us, and we also have Mohan sir, who is going to be the resource person for the program from the Goa Pollution Control Board. Our thanks to our dignitaries, members of our state advisory committee, who are always a part of our journey and who are sharing their thoughts. We have with us Pallavi ma'am, Roland sir, and the association, the Hotel and Restaurants Association. Although they are sitting behind, but they are also very important members who collaborate with us. So we thank you for joining in, and we hope that you will be there a part of the next session as well. Thanks to the media. Media plays a very important role in passing on the message to the people. So we thank you for joining us today, and our Directorate of Information and Publicity for organizing this. Thanks to all our stakeholders who are present here, not forgetting Munzar, who's been closely working with us in this RUCO initiative. our colleagues from FDA who have supported, all of us have supported in making this event a success. The team from laboratory also who's here. So thank you for all the collaboration that you give. Not forgetting our dynamic director who's always there supporting us in all the initiatives that we take. Not forgetting Hotel Fidalgo for the arrangements here and for partnering with us in having this program together. And our resource persons who would be following throughout the day. We have our nutritionist, she is there, Rohini ma'am, who is there behind. She will be also a part of the program. So we thank you all and all the other support staff, the sound, and my colleagues here who worked together to make this program a success. So big thank you to all of you all. Last but not the least, I thank the Almighty for keeping us safe, for keeping us healthy, and for bringing us here in a very good mood for today's program. So thank you all. And with this, I would request you to kindly assemble outside for a cup of tea, and we will meet again in exactly 15 minutes for the next interesting session by Munzar and by Goa Pollution Control Board. Thank you so much.
प्रोग्राम आहे 7th of the program was the 7th
రేపే అన్నారు డైరెక్టర్ జ్యోతి तुका हवं ना डायरेक्टर कोणती
मॅडम सबकी बात सफल दरबार
7 जून वर्ल्ड फूड सेफ्टी डे त्या दिसा FSSAन दिल्ली प्रोग्राम दवरिल्लो आनी गोंयाक फर्स्ट अवॉर्ड मेळ्ळा इन स्टेट फूड सेफ्टी इंडेक्स फॉर द 5th कन्सिक्युटीव टायम आनी ते अवॉर्ड घेवपाक हांव दिल्ली गेल्लें ताका लागून हो जो वर्ल्ड फूड सेफ्टी डे सेलेब्रेशन आसा ते आमी आज सेलेब्रेट केला 16 जुनाक आनी मेन पर्पज आसा हाजो की फूड सेफ्टी जे आसा पळय ते लोकांक कळचें ताजें इम्पॉर्टन्स कळचें सेफ फूड खावपा खातीर आनी फूड सेफ्टी ही सगळ्यांचीच रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी आसा रायट फ्रॉम फार्म टू फोक अशें म्हणटात की जेन्ना फार्मरानूय बी तातूंत आपूण पेस्टिसायड कितले वापरता कसले वापरता कितें ते एज पर द रुल्स करपाक जाय आनी जेन्ना आमी रेस्टॉरंटान किंवा घरा कडेन सुद्दां जेन्ना आमी रांदता तेन्ना आमी सेफ्टी प्रिकॉशन सगळे घेवपाक जाय की फूड जे करता ते सेफ फूड आसा प्लस जे इन्ग्रेडियंट्स वापरता ते सेफ आसा सो हे अवेरनेस करपा खातीर आनी दुसरें म्हणजे हे जे अंदूचें वर्स आसा पळय ते इंटरनॅशनल इयर ऑफ मिलेट्स आसा म्हणजे जे श्री धान्य म्हणटा किंवा ताका कोर्स ग्रेन्स म्हणटा आनी ताजे खातीर ताजे एक हे जे मिलेट्स आसा ते व्हेरी इम्पॉर्टंट फॉर आवर डायट आनी ताजे खातीर हाजे मिलेट्साचे बी अवेरनेस करपा खातीर आमी आज हो प्रोग्राम केल्लो आनी हांगा आमी ऑल्सो कितें आसा न्ही FSSAचे ईट रायट इनिशिएटिव्ज आसा तातूंत खुबशे आसा हायजीन रेटींग आसा क्लीन स्ट्रीट फूड हब आसा आनी एक रुको म्हणून आसा म्हणजे रिपर्पज यूज कुकींग ऑयल जे आमी ऑयल वापरता पळय ते तीन टायमा वयर परते फ्राय करपाक जायना मागीर तातूंत टोटल पोलर कंपाउंड्स म्हणटा ते चड जाता आनी मागीर ते कार्सिनोजेनीक जाता. ताका लागून हे अवेरनेस करपा खातीर आनी ताजें मागीर सायंटिफीक डिस्पोजल कशें करपाचें ताजे खातीर FSSAI एप्रूव्ड जी एजन्सी आसा ती आज हांगा आयिल्ली आसा. ती हांगा आतां मागीर प्रेजेंटेशन करतली आनी आमचे सगळे हांगा रेस्टॉरंट्स आनी हॉटेलियर्स ते आसा, आमचे सगळे स्टेक होल्डर्स आसा जे आमचे लायन डिपार्टमेंट्स आसा ते सगळे हांगा आयिल्ले आसा. तशेंच सांजचे मागीर आमी मिलेट्साची अवेरनेस करपा खातीर एक स्वीट कॉम्पिटिशन दवरला युजींग मिलेट्स आनी ताका आमकां बरें रिस्पॉन्स आयला. ते मागीर सांजचे जातले. ऑल्सो आमी आमचे जे गोंयचे मेन प्रोडक्शन आसा जे कॅश्यू नट्स आसा ते कॅश्यू मॅन्युफॅक्चरर्स एंड ट्रेडर्स आसा पळय तांचे खातीरूय एक सेशन दवरलां. आनी आज आतां आमच्या इनॉग्रल प्रोग्रामाक सगळ्यांनी बऱ्या भशेन अटेंड केलें. आनी आमचे चीफ गेस्ट आशिल्ले राल्फ डिसूजा आनी गेस्ट ऑफ ऑनर आशिल्लो आमचो महेश पाटील चेअरमॅन गोवा स्टेट पोल्युशन कंट्रोल बोर्ड. सो सगळ्यांनी कॉपरेट करून हें आमचें फंक्शन एकदम बरें जालें.
थीम कितें आसली?
थीम आसा ह्या वर्साचे की फूड स्टँडर्ड सेव लायव्स. सो म्हणजे स्टँडर्ड्स फुडाचे आसपाक जाय जाल्यार फूड आसा ते सारके आसा काय ना ते कंपेर करपा खातीर जे स्टँडर्ड्स आसा. सो हे स्टँडर्ड्स जे आसा FSSAIचे एक मॅन्डेट आसा टू मेक द स्टँडर्ड्स. सो हे स्टँडर्ड्स करून त्या प्रमाणे आमी टेस्ट करता. रिसंटली बासमती खातीर FSSAIन स्टँडर्ड्स केल्या आनी हो स्टँडर्ड्स सेटींग प्रोसेस हो कंटिन्युअस प्रोसेस आसता, चालूच आसता.
मॅडम सिन्स ऑयलीचे तुमी उलयले थीम आसा ते गाडयाचे सरान हे केल्ले हेजेर कशें तुमी हे करता?
ताजे खातीर न्ही एक इन्स्ट्रुमेंट आसा ताका टेस्टोमिटर म्हणटात. आमचे फूड सेफ्टी ऑफिसर्स जी टीम आसा ते सडनली सगळे कडेन हो टेस्टोमिटर घेवन वता आनी ते टेस्ट करतात. आनी जर समज जर ते कितें जर पास जायना ताका रिडींग 25 येवचें पडटा. 25 कशें चड रिडींग आयलें म्हणजे ते टोटल पोलर कंपाउंड जर चड आसा जाल्यार मागीर आमी ते तांकां डिस्ट्रॉय करपाक लायता आनी तांकां मागीर समजायता की अशी अशी एजन्सी आसा जी हे यूज कुकींग ऑयल कलेक्ट करता आनी ते तुमी तांकां डिस्पोजलाक दिवचे इन अ सायंटिफीक मॅनर. ते मागीर ते ताजे बायोडिझल करतात. ती हेजी एम्पॅनल एजन्सी आसा पळय जी एप्रूव्ड एजन्सी आसा FSSAIची ते आज हांगा प्रेजेंट आसा. ते सगळ्यांक आतां एक प्रेजेंटेशन दितले की कशें हाजे डिस्पोज करप ते ऑयल.
This program is whole day or just this program is conducted whole day or just a one
Yeah,
section?
it will be there till evening. We are going to have now, as I said, there will be this presentation by Munzer on how to scientifically dispose of the used cooking oil in association with the scientists from Goa State Pollution Control Board. They are going to give the presentation. After that, there will be a presentation on millets by Dr. Rohini Diniz, the dietitian, who will tell us the importance of millets and this, and that is for the public as well as for our staff. Then in the evening, we are again going to have a presentation for the cashew nuts manufacturers and traders. And for that, we have the person from science and technology will be giving the presentation. And after that, we are having, in the evening, we are having around 4 o'clock, there is a sweet dish competition on the millets, using millets. So we have got a good response. And then the prizes will be given for the winner.
When FDA won the prize for the 5th consecutive, what do you have to say on this achievement?
See, we have won this Food Safety Index Award, the first place for the consecutive 5th year, and that is mainly because of the consistent efforts on the part of my team FDA, the support from the government in providing all the infrastructure that is required, the staff support, the new staff that were recruited, and also the compliant food business operators. So when we tell them, see, if you are lacking in something, you need to improve, we give them improvement notice. Then our food business, all the operators, they improve their functioning. And then many of them, like in Panjim, we talked about the scheme of hygiene rating. So more than 100 restaurants, they obtained this hygiene rating. And now they are proudly displaying the certificate, see, we are hygiene rated, we are 5-star hygiene rated. So like these initiatives, when we take it before them, the food business operators, or we go to the level of schools, we go to the colleges, like, Eat Right campuses. Even I am proud to say that the pharmaceutical units also, they have taken this Eat Right campus certification. So wherein they give the balanced diet, and then they create awareness about the food safety and all this. So this is how we are able to get this award, and thanks to all the stakeholders who are also the line departments, and as I said, all our members of the state level advisory committee, district level advisory committee, who we work in cooperation and collaboration.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
I want to know how is it that the food business has not been able to eliminate उलयता रे.